When you're down 3-1, the math is simple. Tonight's the night for a star to shine ever brighter, to draw every ounce from your reserve. It's about staying alive to keep a dream alive. The stars are assembled, but can they get aligned? When you've been there before, it's about looking inward for the solution. Is do it the right way. And you'll try to prove once again it's not who you are, but how you play that matters most. Lakers Pistons in the NBA Finals tonight, Game 5. Welcome to the Palace of Auburn Hills outside Detroit. Will a third championship banner hang from the rafters after these NBA Finals? The bad boys from the two championship teams, the coach, Chuck Daly, Bill Laimbeer is here tonight. John Sally is here tonight. So is Rick Mahorn. Karl Malone would have made a great bad boy, but he has a bad knee and is not in uniform and gets embraced just moments ago by Piston coach Larry Brown. And we are set right now for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Detroit Pistons. I'm Al Michaels with Doc Rivers. Michelle Tafoya and Stuart Scott will work the sidelines. Can the Pistons pull off one of the great upsets in NBA Finals history? Right now they're on the verge of that. The Lakers are just trying to take the series back to LA for a 6th game on Thursday and if necessary a 7th game on Sunday. Oft times when there's an upset in the making, there's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of luck involved. Not so here. It's simple. The Pistons have just played better, including in the second game when the Lakers needed a miracle to pull out a victory. In fact, the Lakers are the lucky ones. They're lucky they haven't been swept. Doc, Phil Jackson first, the Laker coach. We talked to him earlier. What can a guy who's never been in this situation with a veteran team, down 3-1, what can he do? What will he do?
Well, I think the first thing he has to do is make his players believe. He has to tell them that the solution is in the locker room. It's not about changes. What we do, we have to do it better. More importantly, he has to let them know that if they win this game, the rest of the playoffs are at home. But more importantly, he has to get more than just Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant playing. He needs one more guy. I don't know who that guy will be, but he has to get one more guy to help the cause.
They're the only guys in double figures for the Lakers in each of the 4 games. Now there's Larry Brown. We both know him very well. He's a fretter. He doesn't want to think ahead. He's in the moment. Can he keep his team in the moment?
Yeah, he has to. He has to stay in it now. He has to get his team to understand if you lose this game, this is your last game at home for the rest of the season. Stay in it now, and you'll win the game.
Kind of funny. Brown staying in the moment. Phil Jackson is a guy who loves to stay in the moment, but he's got to be thinking about Thursday.
Yeah.
The Palace of Auburn Hills already rocking. It will throughout the evening as we get set to take a look at the Bud Light starting lineups for you. And with Malone out, a change for the Lakers. Up front, they have Devin George. Medvedenko replaces Malone, O'Neal in the middle, Prince, and the 2 Wallaces up front for Detroit. The guards for the Lakers, Gary Payton and Kobe Bryant. For Detroit, Chauncey Billups, right now a primary candidate for MVP, and Richard Hamilton. And we go to Michelle.
All right, well, with Karl Malone out, Phil Jackson said before the game, Al, that Slava Medvedenko, quote, has a game that he can bring to this matchup with Rasheed Wallace. He also said that Medvedenko is a far better player than what he's shown in this series so far. But Phil also said he has told every one of his players to be ready to play tonight as he plans to throw everything he has at Detroit. And speaking of Detroit, let's go over to Stuart Scott.
Michelle, 14 years after winning their last title, almost every Piston player to a man said their biggest challenge is focusing on one game without thinking about what happens when they win that game. Chauncey Billups told me, my only fear is that we want it so bad that we come out and start individually trying to do too much. Nothing selfish, he said, no agendas, just wanting it so bad, Al, and being that close.
Right now, Jack Nicholson is here to lend support to his beloved Lakers. Jack comes to town for the first time in the middle 3 games. Lakers trying to go home and take Detroit with them. Over 3 months.
And one change you see early in this game is Kobe Bryant is starting the game out, guarding Chauncey Billups, and that leads to an early foul. Pistons keep attacking the basket. Right there, Chauncey Billups gets to the basket, and now he gets to the foul line.
Last Thursday, had the lead from time to time in the 4th game on Sunday. So Detroit up 2-0 at the outset, and Bryant with a foul. Here's Medvedenko. He's free and hits from 19 feet. Pushes it up the floor. Medvedenko is free again and hits. So the Lakers, who had O'Neal and Bryant as the only guy in double figures in every game, have another guy now with 4 points in the first minute and a half.
He is not an unwilling shooter.
Over Medvedenko, and Wallace drops one in. Key rebounds and a tremendous performance the other night that was wasted, and Billups has it knocked away, stolen by the Lakers. Medvedenko again. Can he make it 3 in a row? Yes, he can.
They've been hurt so far.
The other night, the Lakers committed 36 fouls as O'Neal. The Lakers coming out tenaciously on defense. Here's Medvedenko again. This time he's going to dump it into O'Neal, and O'Neal's going to softly put it over the rim to make it 8-4 Lakers. Prince guarded by George. Works off a Rasheed Wallace screen. Can't get it to drop, but Rasheed is there. Puts it up. Nothing happening. And O'Neal quickly gets it ahead to Bryant. Kobe's first effort is good, and the Lakers lead by a half dozen tonight.
And they're doing 2 things. Number one, they're playing defense. And by playing defense, that's allowing them to get in the open court.
And underneath, going down hard and drawing that response from the crowd is the angular and very thin Tayshaun Prince. And tonight already 3, including 1 each on Bryant and O'Neal.
And those are huge, not only because there's 3 fouls, but because of Bryant and O'Neal, the penalty.
And in this situation, Jackson, of course, minus Malone, has to leave him in, and then Wallace drives to the hoop and then gets the gong from the guys upstairs as he drops one in to make it 10-7.
Yeah, what they're saying is you called over the back on Shaq. Shaq felt like the Detroit Pistons just went over the back on him.
What a play as O'Neal got it, gave it back to Devin George. He's able to get under the basket and face it and put it in, 12-7. Away by Payton, so Gary Payton got a hand in. Payton, who's been eaten up in this series by Billups, makes a good defensive play for the steal.
I got to tell you, I like Payton's look tonight.
Bryant goes underneath, loses the ball. No foul is called, and it winds up in Medvedenko's hands for the basket. Kobe and Shaq, as we mentioned before, the only Lakers in double figures in 4 consecutive games. How unusual is that? Well, this league's been around 58 years. That's 42,000 plus regular season games, about 3,000 playoff games. It's never happened. Never. Shaq comes out of the game here, and from the corner, it is Tayshaun Prince for a long 2.
Jackson takes Shaq out. Well, he has 2 fouls. That's number 1. I think the other reason is they have a 5-0 3-point lead, and he's going to look at the scoreboard and watch it. And it's because the Lakers led the league in free throws.
Cook made a terrible pass, but it came back to Bryant, and then the call is against the Lakers. I've got Malone in street clothes and Shaq with 2 fouls.
Yeah, and that's a tough situation. But one of the things Phil Jackson talked about early in the year is
Bryant guarded by Prince. Shoots over him. Doesn't drop. Big Ben high for the rebound. Now the Pistons can assume the lead here. Billups puts it on his hip, goes all the way. That's the bounce.
Our club has been one of the most difficult clubs to project how they're going to play of any team I've ever coached this particular year. So much of it depends upon Shaquille. He expanded himself so much the other night. We wasted one of the great games that we saw him play in this playoffs. It's going to depend upon him. Right now, I think we're feeling really pretty good about it. Kobe's guaranteed the fact that we're going to win. That in itself says something about it, and I like the mental attitude of the ball club.
Now they're down, he puts Shaq back in. I think this is a huge key part of the game right now for Detroit. They have Shaq in foul trouble. They have the Pistons, they have the Lakers in penalty. They must keep attacking this basket.
Hitting only 38% from the field in this series. Prince all the way, drops it in.
See, they know that Shaq can't help. And if he does help, they're going to throw their bodies right into him. So
Loves that move. Goes to the lane and puts it in. Shaq misses, gets his own rebound, and stuffs it back in.
even a passive Shaq is aggressive.
Steele with 2 early fouls. Payton guarding Hamilton, who puts it in over Gary to make it 19-18. Leads Seesaw.
That's the one area where I think Rip Hamilton is going to have to take advantage of.
Payton losing it, stolen by Wallace. He's out in front all alone. 21-18 on the steal by Big Ben. Again. Medvedenko can't get it to drop. Rebound to Billups. Pistons running the floor. Score it, Hamilton. 23-18. Foul is on Corliss Williamson.
And first the steal by Ben Wallace. I was really surprised no one tried to track him down and give him a foul. And then you saw Devin George at the bottom of your screen, the Lakers as much as possible.
That was a non-shooting foul. They started with 14 on the timer, and Kobe Bryant pulls one of his patented moves by driving through traffic to the hoop. Bryant, 4 points to this point. Payton will drive. Jump hook from the lane. Lakers cut it to 1. Gary's first 2 of the night. To Hamilton, 6 on the timer. Williamson would have counted. He'll go to the line.
You know, more driving to the bucket, and there's more running in the game and open court basketball. That's the way the Lakers actually want to play.
Prince on him. Kobe in the lane, drives, gets fouled. Bryant draws the foul. The foul is a 2-shot foul. The Pistons now have committed 14 fouls and the Lakers 6.
All right.
Larry hides it.
Larry didn't look too calm in that office before the game today.
To Hunter. Now Campbell. And Walton comes in there to provide the defense after he got by Shaq. He's a smart rookie. He's in the jeans. With 3 on the timer, Bryant can't drop it. That's looking to fling it down the floor. Does down the baseline here. Hunter puts it up, and at least he got the rim. Asking Bennett Salvatore if he's going to call any fouls when he's shooting tonight.
Man, and he said, stop trying to get the fouls, try to score. Now,
thank you, Stuart.
And that is really significant because what players and teams do, they focus so much on trying to draw the foul on Shaq.
Of the period, Kareem Rush is in the game, so is Derek Fisher. And Kobe has the ball stolen. Pistons rush back. Hamilton drives in, and Rush commits the foul. Pistons just forcing the issue in this entire series. Scorer was 6. The Pistons, you talk about spreading it out and balanced scoring, they have 6 guys who have between 4 and 6 points.
Shoot the ball, and then the game will come to him. That's what they're looking from Kobe Bryant tonight, guys.
Michelle, last foul was on Elgin Campbell. Now Bryant nearly has it taken away, and does in fact, by the hands of Hunter, leading to a Hamilton break and dunk.
See, Kobe Bryant just did exactly what Phil Jackson didn't want him to do. I mean, right there, he tried to split between 2 guys trying to force the action.
6-point lead inside to Shaq, puts it up and in. For the rebound, perfectly positioned. Fisher from deep outside, got it. 3-pointer to Derek, saluted by Malone. It's a 1-point game. Half the roster playing hurt, but playing nonetheless. Hamilton throws it away, and now Kobe's on a break, and Kobe's going to put this one in, looking to see where Hunter was, seeing if he could get a 3-point play out of it, and it's 31-30 Los Angeles.
I think he didn't think Hunter could catch up to him, and he did. So this is a big foul here.
Often going, and now after Fisher committed the foul on the inbounds play, which means Fisher gets it back into O'Neal. Can't get it. Hunter comes away with it.
In the tree down. They say it may not give them make a big deal for the first 3 quarters, but by the 4th quarter, they don't think Shaq can keep running.
Hamilton gets free. Back door.
You see Rip Hamilton driving towards Shaq, and Shaq getting out of the way. But that's because of the 2 fouls.
Bad pass, and it results in nearly a Piston basket, but at least they go to the free throw line. Payton comes back in. Kareem Rush departs. Gets the bounce, and Detroit's lead is 4.
Playing like they play and not thinking about anything else.
Walton drives all the way, can't get it to drop, and then going to the floor was Eldon Campbell. A 3-on-2 here. Fed underneath, Williamson misses it, but gets it back, juggles it. Hamilton fall away, couldn't get control of the ball, but got hit and fouled. Payton. And Detroit up by 6 again. So after they had a 6-point lead and the Lakers overcame it, Detroit up 37-31. Walton, too high for Bryant. Try to time it. Kobe got underneath. Run in a short period of time for Detroit. And they'll inbound with 19 seconds on the clock. Underneath, Billups, reverse, puts it in. So Chauncey Billups got it in, got it back, and Chauncey Billups now has 8 points. Stolen by Bryant. And Bryant, as he's moving down the court, gets fouled by Tayshaun Prince.
Another uncontested layup by the Detroit Pistons.
6.5 to go first half. Bryant working off an O'Neal screen, goes all the way, puts it up, and it doesn't go, but it'll go to the line.
That has probably been the most surprising that hasn't gone to the line in this series, with Kobe Bryant guarding Billups.
Bryant, too hard. Prince, behind the back, great move to get by Bryant. Does it again, and can't get it to drop, but it'll go to the line. 2 behind the back dribbles.
Yeah, you do. And Kobe became an idol pretty quickly in this league. To live with those because he is so creative.
Pistons, meanwhile, are hitting 57% from the field. And since they've been going to the free throw line more often, that's a tough combo to beat. And Ben Wallace is too tough to beat right there, and the lead is 9.
Ben Wallace, and get points out of him, that is huge. Coming to Detroit, he's made Ben Wallace an offensive option. He tells his team to look for him when he's on a post, and he's made Ben Wallace think offense. Ben Wallace a couple of years ago would have never made that move.
O'Neal makes his first free throw here. He's now 1 out of 3. Lakers had an early 7-point lead. There's Wallace tipping it to himself. Great body control. And then Detroit tries to cash it. Wallace. Wow. They got a lot to resolve right now. And Kobe got blocked and fouled. Drops them both. The other night. Okur
is a defensive liability for this Laker basketball team. He's getting scored on from all angles.
And the call here on the Lakers.
And so now we have a crisis time right now for the Los Angeles Lakers. They have 3:36. They're down 10 points, and they probably will not see Shaq the rest of this half.
Fox posting Prince. Turnaround off the glass, and Rick banks it home to make it an 8-point game.
And Rick Fox has been begging to play. Some guys do use it for that, and it's really paid off for him.
It's working tonight, and there he is again. Big ball, small ball, and that was after they had about half of the 24-second clock to work with on the inbound to go with it. 4 on the shot clock. Out to Rush. He's got to shoot. He does at the horn and makes it. Kareem Rush, who was so big in the clinching game against Minnesota, with 6 3-pointers. You can't coach. You got to come back here next year. From the corner. A 3-pointer for Okur. Big answers big.
Well, There is no spacing right now for the Lakers.
And Kobe is the line drive one over Okur and Prince.
Right now, the Lakers are scoring almost out of their offense.
Shot is short. Rebound keeps getting tipped. Winds up in the hands of Prince. He'll drive all the way. Brings the house down.
They will take that shot all game.
Pistons eating up the Laker defense. Okur drives. Softly puts it in. And they lead by 12 with Shaq on the bench. And a game away from elimination. Okur has 7. Medvedenko will drive to the basket and get fouled on his way to the hoop. Trying to become the first Laker apart from O'Neal and Bryant to go into double figures, and that's a small consolation to Phil Jackson right now.
And this year only.
Because it'll be a different team next year. And the Pistons right now trying to make it a dozen points if they can. And James puts it up and doesn't have it. And they're only a fraction of a second left on the clock. It's the largest halftime lead for either team in the series. So Detroit fell behind by 7 early. They put Shaq on the bench. They caught him. The lead seesawed a little bit. And now Detroit with a great run in the second quarter. They outscored the Lakers 30-21. And Detroit leads 55-45 at the half. We go to Stuart Scott.
Ben Wallace, 11 points. You guys are shooting over 60%. You're the Pistons. You don't shoot 60%. What's going on?
I mean, that's what confidence do for you. You know, we got some stops. We was able to get some clean looks. And tonight, the shots just falling for us.
Why are fast break points? You guys got a bunch of them. Why are they so important for this game?
Because, you know, they got the big fella down inside. And if you slow the game down, allow him to get position, you know, he's going to bang you all night. So we want to get out and make him run a little bit, try to wear him down.
24 minutes away from what could be a championship. What's your biggest concern at halftime?
Just that we don't come out a little bit, you know, over-aggressive. You know, we got to stay poised, continue to execute our offensive set, continue to get stops, and allow the game to come to us.
All right, Ben, appreciate it. Good luck in the second half.
Second half ready to begin. Detroit up by 10 points at the Palace. Al Michaels with Doc Rivers, Michelle Tafoya, Stuart Scott. A lot of different things we can talk about. But again, one of the things, Doc, is the fact that the Pistons are having their way against that Laker defense. Lakers started out pretty good, defending almost every shot, and then all of a sudden they became a sieve again.
And that's been a staple of this series. All series long, the Lakers have come out and played defense for, you know, a quarter or maybe a couple of possessions, but they haven't been able to maintain it throughout the games. And this is what you see when the Lakers don't play defense. You see layup after layup after layup. And this is not just this game. It's been the entire series. They're running on all cylinders, 61% from the field, 10 layups, 3 of those are dunks, 11 points from Ben Wallace, who's not an offensive player, and they've had a ton of wide open shots that don't even count as layups.
26 points from not only in the paint, but you're in the easel, I guess, at that point. I mean, you're right there. Layups, dunks, you know, and the Lakers are right now in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I will say this, though. Shaq left, they were down 10. He comes back, they're still down 10. I think that's significant.
Back he comes at the start of the second half. We go to Stewart.
Al, I asked Larry Brown what he told his team about making this just one simple half of basketball. And he said, I really told them, just keep doing what you're doing. Do your job and you'll be fine. But then he smiled and he said, but I did tell them, enjoy this. And I told them several times. For a report of the Lakers, let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
Stuart, as I was standing outside the Laker locker room during halftime, something very unusual happened. A Laker official came out of the locker room and shushed people in the hallway. Things were obviously getting tense inside that locker room. Kurt Rambis told me players were attentive. We're overplaying guys on D. We're allowing them to penetrate. Back to you guys.
And this begins, the second half does, with a Rasheed Wallace three-pointer.
Rasheed Wallace really didn't get involved in the first half, and Larry Brown came out of the halftime making sure that Rasheed Wallace touched the ball.
Here's O'Neal.
But when he misses, he loses his confidence. A great guy, great player will keep shooting.
Prince short, but again, they keep it alive, and Ben Wallace gets the assist on the Hamilton layup.
That was a great example of what I've been talking about that last.
Payton having trouble getting it in, just does. Bryant, 7 on the 24. Kobe goes all the way, left hand stuck. But tonight they're beating him from the foul line and from the open court. Oh, beautiful pass to Hamilton, and then Devin George comes in for the foul. 4-point lead. Now 13, 8:25 remaining in the third. They have a double-digit lead. They're as tough as anybody to beat because of their great defense. And then Bryant loses it on his way to the basket. And George passes up the three, sends it into Shaq, and he has the easy layup. Making all the right calls.
Well, you really have, but when you look at this game right here, I'm looking at the way the Lakers are playing. They look like they're aggressive. They're taking it to the bucket. They're drawing fouls in the half.
So he picks up his fourth with 19 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the game. And O'Neal picks a pretty good time for the Lakers to make both.
Most of those shots now are front of the rim, which indicates tired legs, and guard Rip Hamilton will do that.
Hamilton can't get there, but Campbell does.
Rip Hamilton calls that play with the dribble penetration.
Prince. Wallace is going to drive and gets fouled.
Them rebounds. And during the rest of the timeout, he said, we've got to get stops. And he reminded them, we have to play right through the foul calls. Don't throw your arms. Don't shoot looks. Don't talk to the refs. Your only recourse is to play through the fouls.
Brian Russell, who has played so little over the last 2 months. Bryant drives, jams one home, 10-point game. Nation game in the World Series as Devin George can't hit what would have been a big one. And Wallace gets the rebound. Guys, one is in civvies. That's Malone. They've used the other 11. Prince drives, softly throws it in.
I'm watching that possession. The Lakers players didn't know who they had.
O'Neal starts to go to the hoop. Bernie Fryer calls a foul. Even if it's not a shooting foul, they're still in the penalty here.
In this series, it's whenever you hear a Piston player talk, he knows exactly what he is supposed to do. When you hear a Laker player talk, he sounds like he's guessing and talking.
Pro attempts. He's 3 out of 10. The Lakers are 11 of 19. Ben Wallace over Brian Russell.
That's what happened on Ben Wallace.
Kobe loses the ball. There's no foul in the lane. Here's Billups on the drive. Got it. Goes to the line. Bryant. Give and take with Shaq. Goaltending.
Ben Wallace did that on purpose, Al. This reminds me of Patrick Ewing against Villanova. Just knock it out to scare him. He didn't care.
Lakers now. Bryant outside. Payton has the ball. Looks Kobe's way. Goes inside to Shaq. Slam dunk. 72-59. Under 3 to go in the third.
They're playing good basketball.
Prince. 13 rebounds and 14 points, so he's done it on both ends. The technical foul will come after the personal foul on George, who looks over at Bernie Fryer and gets teed up.
Yeah, and he earned the technical. There's no doubt about it. And right now at this point in the game, when your team is down 13 points, that's how, and sitting down.
But there's nothing that Phil can do about it at this point. He's done all the politicking and
shit possessions out.
Here's O'Neal. Can't get it. Billups. Here's Campbell free. Got it with O'Neal coming all the way out on him. Campbell went down. He thought he was fouled. Lakers keep it alive. Payton. Fox now. Shaq works it back out. Payton tries for a three. Nothing drops.
The Lakers back in this game. The Detroit Pistons are playing the right way.
They 70 a total of 10 times. He did it more in 1 year than in 20 years.
It's been one of the more dominating defensive performances of all time. Third straight three.
Now Bryant will drive, hang in the lane, nothing goes, and Ben Wallace with the rebound.
The Lakers have the look of this. We try.
Or hockey, or basketball, or football. There's always something that happens. You get a break. As we said at the beginning, they're playing better. They're the better team. Bryant missing. Campbell.
Look at the ball movement.
He has 15 in the game.
You know, that is Ben Wallace. You know, when you start thinking about MVP, I don't know if you can give it to one person. I think change the rules.
Yeah. Give it to a coach, too.
Yeah, they could. They really could.
The reason he's worrying, he's broken his nose twice this year already. The doctor said if he has another one, he'd have to miss the rest of the season. What happens when he gets hit, all of the brunt of the blow goes against the forehead and the chin, so he is okay.
Wow. Coast to coast.
They're so inexperienced as a unit out on the floor, they couldn't even get a shot away at the end of 3. Al Michaels, Doc Rivers, Michelle Tafoya, Stuart Scott. Fourth quarter begins. William Davidson, whose WNBA team, the Shock, won last season's title. The Wolves had a pretty good year.
Boy, I tell you.
Lindsey Hunter starts the fourth quarter with a steal.
Not one Laker cross half court.
Look, always a step behind. Kobe goes to the hoop and gets fouled in the lane. Wallace. For Larry Brown, trying to become the first guy to do that. He won the NCAA crown at Kansas.
The San Antonio Spurs.
He normally takes reclamation projects. I mean, this is a guy who got the Los Angeles Clippers into the playoffs.
Hey.
Ben Wallace. He'll tip it back in himself over Brian Cook.
Entire series. And you're right, Al. You can make the point that the Lakers are very lucky to be playing tonight.
Walton to Rush. Hamilton on Fisher. It's almost like the party has started with 10:32 still left in the game.
Yeah, the power rebound of Pistons releases and gets a fast break. And it's been one-on-one fast break basketball for the Pistons. And I said fast break basketball for the Pistons.
Doc, you may be the last coach ever hired under 60 years old.
In this one game.
Yeah.
It's still not healed.
And what about Shaq? Now, Shaq's under contract, so unless they trade him...
Which will not happen after check. And what is he going to do to change this basketball team?
Prince. And about the Lakers, Phil Jackson, the first guy they have to talk about. Brian Payton, Malone, and Fisher can opt out. Payton can opt to stay. I mean, he's already under contract, so it's his call there. Fox maybe retires, you don't know. The ocean is swept around, or whatever the lyrics are, but it's like you walk away and you go, huh?
I still think again, but not with the Lakers again.
Here's O'Neal. You know, Phil.
Me too.
Doc, you can do something about it.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
16-14 is the Laker-Celtic rivalry right now, with Boston up by 2. And as the Lakers will end their season unraveling in this series, Detroit ends it on a high note, and they just add exclamation point after exclamation point.
He's not going to have to make a lot of changes. A factor in the near future for this Pistons team.
Darko Milicic's talking about.
He said he might know more about the World Cup than the World Championship.
Rasheed Wallace on a turnaround.
The Pistons team. Chauncey Billups was given up on. Ben Wallace was said that he couldn't be a factor.
Red's lighting up a cigar. Red loves that record. And Red and Phil have had long-distance barb fest. On the other hand, we're talking about, Doc, can I call you next year, like during the week, and you can give me some lines and I can read them on the air?
Anytime.
Larry Brown was a hell of a basketball
He really
player.
was.
And for Larry, Larry does have a little wanderlust in him. There's no question about it. It's maybe the pursuit of perfection as Cook makes that shot. Detroit would wind up in triple figures in a blowout deciding game.
If he scored between 85 and 90 points, they would win because they will never give up 90 points.
With this team. He's going to have a parade and all of that. Then he's got us tonight.
Yeah, you know what? It's such a tough vote. And
when you think about these Pistons, there won't be one guy who comes to mind. You'll think about a collection of guys. Back in Kobe's Lakers or Duncan and Robinson Spurs. This is different.
The NBA Finals with Al Michaels, Michelle Tafoya, and Stuart Scott, and Al, this is so amazing. For me, it's been amazing. It's been awesome.
Doc, you're so kind as Tayshaun Prince comes off and Larry will bring the guys off one by one. Doc, I look at it this way. The way you started at Orlando, we had to get you off the street.
Yes, you did.
And thanks for, and I had a blast this year with you.
Thank you very much.
Kobe Bryant, there's Chauncey Billups, Okur. Larry Brown doing everything he can now to get everybody to come off the...
Get the rest of the shots, the rest of this game.
Fisher makes it from outside.
Collar basketball team that you can make the case like the Lakers and the LA Lakers fit LA. This Detroit Pistons team really fits the city.
Hamilton can take that mask off for the final time. I'm looking at those shots. Bryant, O'Neal, Jackson, Malone in street clothes, Payton, and of all crazy things, this team which always seemed to come up with the clutch play.
Ends his career in street clothes since he played every game for the most part his entire career.
Sure.
The title. If you're a team sport guy, it gives every kid in the world a message. No matter who's on your team, you still have to earn it. And that's what
50s, believe it or not, when a home team won all 3 games in the middle, it was the
Eastern champion. He was from the East without Phil Jackson being involved with the Detroit Pistons in 1990.
Rick Fox ending the game hunched over his former teammate Lindsey Hunter and congratulating him as the clock ticks down. And the Detroit Pistons, wow, who won the NBA championship in '89 and '90, and the crazies just have to stop blowing up stuff in indoor buildings before we have a disaster. Thank you, Commissioner. But the Detroit Pistons have just shocked the Los Angeles Lakers. Stuart Scott.
Tayshaun Prince, you guys did something that nobody outside your locker room thought you would. It wasn't just that you beat them, but how? What did you all know that nobody else did?
We just took it to them, man. We knew we could play with everybody in this league. And I think we showed it today. But obviously, they came out, gave it everything they have, and we just kept fighting. We kept fighting. And it was just an all-around effort by everybody today.
Everybody in your locker room was concerned about one thing coming into this game, not to get so uptight that you try to do too much individually. How did you blow them out like this?
Hey, this is a situation where it was like a last game for them. We said the same thing for us. This is the last game. Look at it, us being down 3-1. That's how we took it.
We haven't seen you smile the entire series, man. Give me one.
You know what? I'm feeling so happy right now. It's all inside, but man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you. I guess The address has changed here. This is now 4 Championship Drive in Auburn Hills, Michigan. Here to present the Larry O'Brien Trophy to the world champion Detroit Pistons, the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern.
Against the celebrated and valiant effort by the Los Angeles Lakers, your Detroit Pistons demonstrated that fairy tale endings do actually occur in sports, as rare as they may be. Against all expectations, but because of hard work, very hard work, and teamwork, I'm delighted to congratulate Bill Davidson, the owner of the Pistons, Tom Wilson, Joe Dumars, particularly Coach Larry Brown, and of course, the city of Detroit, who believed in this team. And this team met their expectations, even though no one else expected it. So to your 2004 NBA champion Detroit Pistons, congratulations, and here's the trophy.
Let's take that, Ben. Mr. Davidson. Now you have the WNBA championship, the Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I know all the championships mean so much, but I've seen you in the practice facility, seeing these guys. This is your baby. This one has to be super special to you.
Absolutely, it is, and this is the greatest. I always have to be a little careful that I say I like them both equal, but this is a great night, and the guys did a tremendous job.
Congratulations, Bill Davidson, owner of the Detroit Pistons. We have to get Larry Brown over here. Coach Larry Brown. Coach, I know you inherited a very good team, but they did figure out the right way to play. It seemed like the right fit for the coach and the players. Tell us your emotions as your family's here and you finally, after the long journey, become the first man to win an NCAA championship and an NBA championship as a coach.
Well, one, I feel fortunate that I inherited a team that Rick Carlisle coached. He did a great job. I'm sorry Chucky Atkins and Michael Curry and John Barry and Cliff Robinson aren't here to enjoy it. But this is a great team. Mr. D and Joe and the whole staff assembled great guys that do play the right way, and I'm proud to be part of that. Thank you.
I know there are 2 people who are watching who you share great emotion for and with. Coach Smith, Dean Smith, your mentor, and your 99-year-old mom who has just watched you and your older brother Herb work together to win an NBA championship. Having your brother here, your mom watching at home, has to be special to you.
Well, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Coach. A lot of us in this profession benefited by being around him. And for my mom, I babysitted my brother long enough, and we finally got it done. I love you, Mom.
Larry Brown, coach of the champion Pistons. Now time for the presentation of the most valuable player trophy. And once again, Commissioner Stern.
You saw it, 21 points a game, over 5 assists. The 2004 NBA Finals MVP, #1, Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey, you just looked at that and said, wow. After all the places you've been and the expectations when you were drafted high in the draft, all the stops, did you ever stop dreaming that you could find the right place for your talents?
I never stopped dreaming, man. God is good. You know, God is very good. He put me here for a reason, and that's the reason.
You guys were as heavy an underdog as we've seen win the championship in almost a quarter century. I know the guys believed. Tell me why this team was able to overcome the Lakers.
Because we just believe in ourselves, and we play team basketball. We're not just individuals. We got individual good players, but we're a great basketball team, and we know that that can overcome every time.
Congratulations, MVP of the finals, Chauncey Billups. I would imagine you would like to hear from Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars, finals of the NBA MVP of the finals, I should say, joins Jerry West as the only people to be finals MVP and the architect of a championship team. I know it's sweet as a player. Tell me what it's like to be the boss.
It's so much better here. You put your heart and soul into it, and to have this happen is just unbelievable.
Joe, as I said, this team was a heavy underdog. When did you believe this team could do it?
I felt like we could win this thing. I really did. Even before the series started, I thought that we could win. And I knew we were underdogs, but I never thought that these guys were. I just felt like these guys, it was their year to win it.
Joe Dumars and the rest of the world champion Detroit Pistons, ladies and gentlemen. And we send it back to Al Michaels.
All right, thank you, Mike. So Billups wins an MVP award in the finals before he ever makes an all-star team. Who's the last guy to do that? Joe Dumars did it on one of the Detroit championship teams.
Derek Fisher, obviously this is an incredibly emotional time. What is your team going through in that locker room?
Mixed emotions, Michelle, to be honest. Extreme disappointment, but very resilient. I'm so proud of this team. We didn't have to be here. We went through some things that I don't think any other team could have gone through and still gotten to this point. And you know, we definitely have to tip our hat to the Pistons, no question about that. You have to win graciously and you have to lose graciously, and we're disappointed, but the Pistons were the better team this year.
You guys came into this game saying all the right things, that you believed you could get it done, that you were confident that you'd been in this position before. What happened out there tonight?
Same things as have been happening this entire series, you know. Second chance points, you know, offensive rebounds, you know, they're beating us to loose balls. You know, I think they wanted it more, you know, collectively as a group. That doesn't take anything away from anybody on our team. I think we wanted it as well, but they were able to take, you know, emotionally what they desired and what they wanted and carry it over to the physical. And we were a step slow too many times, and, you know, they deserve it.
Phil Jackson had said many times this may be a last dance for this particular team. What are your thoughts about the future of this team? How likely is it you'll be together next year?
You know, who knows? You know, the nature of this business has really changed over the years, and, you know, from year to year, when you leave that locker room for the last time, you never know if you're going to see that guy again. And, you know, I think we'll all just, you know, enjoy the time that we have left together tonight and tomorrow on our plane ride back. And, you know, just be thankful that we had this opportunity. A lot of guys haven't had this opportunity. And, you know, we had a chance and we couldn't get it done, but we're thankful.
The way he was, and it's never been about Larry. And by the way, I saw his other wonderful moment in life, his only hole-in-one on the golf course, one of 5 people to do that.
Yes, exactly.
And it's always about the others, and he is so elated for his players, for the coaches that he's worked with, for the kids he's brought along. And I can't think of a guy in that profession more respected than Larry Brown.
Well, he reminds you of the John Wooden of the NBA. I mean, John Wooden was a lot like Larry Brown, that all the titles and all the accomplishments that he had and Larry Brown has, he always talks about the greatness of the players and everybody else around him, almost deflecting what he's done. Larry Brown is a great basketball coach, and he's known around this league as the coach's coach. So it's rare that other coaches, because this is competitive league, but it's rare that other coaches are happy for a coach when he wins a title, but everyone's happy for Larry Brown.
He's helped turn the balance of power a little bit back to the East. You'll keep that going.
Yes.
My man going to the Boston Celtics. Someday again, I'll come out of retirement when you're finished with the Celtics.
Oh, thank you, Al.
Great series.